Hey everyone, how's it going? Today, I want to talk a bit about something I discuss every year on the channel. It's Friday, Black Friday, to be precise, so chances are many of you have already bought something today, maybe earlier this week, or are gearing up to make a purchase tonight after work. You're probably planning to visit your favorite site, checking out your wish lists, and eyeing those products you've been saving for this discount day. But there's a major issue I often notice when it comes to shopping, especially online. It's the problem of rampant consumption, which is a significant concern in today's society. As someone who has been talking about minimalism for 6 years here online, I can tell you that minimalism isn't about not consuming or completely avoiding purchases. It's about mindful consumption, about being more aware of what you're doing with your time and money. Let's be honest, work is becoming more challenging these days, and our salaries seem to give us less and less purchasing power. If we don't actively seek to increase our income and invest in our future, things tend to get worse over time instead of better. This is because we often develop spending habits that aren't beneficial for our future. Every time you make a purchase, you're essentially spending the money you've worked hard to earn. You've likely spent hours in a place that isn't your home, doing something you might not even enjoy, just to get that money. Then, you turn around and spend it impulsively without really considering whether it was worth all that effort. For example, when you buy that new phone, was it really worth the 2, 3, 4, or even 5,000 reais you spent? How much of your time does that amount represent? Maybe a month, 2, or 3 of your life sitting in an office just to buy that phone. Was it really worth it? Did it make that much of a difference? So, what I want you to understand is that, as a minimalist, the point is the most important thing you can do is to understand the utility of the item you're buying. Ask yourself, how will this purchase benefit your life? Will it bring an improvement or offer some tangible value in return? There's a significant difference between the price you pay and the value you receive. It's crucial to recognize whether something serves a genuine need or simply fulfills a fleeting desire. For instance, is it a necessity, like replacing something that broke or purchasing an air conditioner during this sweltering summer heat? Or is it just an impulsive buy, something you decided to get because you saw it online or in a store and thought, I'll grab it during Black Friday because it'll be a bit cheaper? I speak from experience when I say this, as many of you know, I'm a minimalist who also sells products. Some people find it ironic or even strange, but it's important to clarify that as an influencer, I receive items from brands to test. This allows me to evaluate what's genuinely good and what isn't, so I can clearly communicate what's worth your time and money. However, what I really want to emphasize is that you don't need to buy everything your favorite influencer recommends. Instead, consider that the person might be suggesting something worthwhile, but only if you genuinely need it. At least in my case, and for some other ethical influencers, we prioritize the well-being of our audience because we understand that not everyone has money to waste on testing different products to find out which one is the best. We do that work for you. So, what I want you to take away from this is that you shouldn't feel compelled to buy something just because someone shows you that it exists or because it's on sale. In fact, a phrase you should always keep in mind is that, the biggest discount is the one you get when you don't buy anything at all, as the wise Julios once said. Just because something is 10%, 20%, or 30 to 40% off doesn't mean you need to rush out and buy it. You can take advantage of these opportunities if it's something you truly need. I've noticed a pattern with Black Friday. Every year, people spend months trying to save money, clear their debts, and approach the year-end with a bit of financial peace. But then, as soon as these holiday periods roll around, Christmas, New Year's, summer vacations, and of course, Black Friday, people tend to blow through everything they've saved throughout the year. And then they find themselves starting the cycle all over again. This system is designed to make you start the year from zero once more. You work all year, saving up a little, only to spend it all at the end of the year, and then you start from scratch again. It's a never-ending cycle, climbing up the mountain, only to fall back down and start from the bottom once more. This is what's known as the rat race. I'm not sure if you follow social media trends, but there's been a trend in the US called girl math, where people, especially women, humorously explain how they justify their spending. They talk about how they calculate things when they go shopping, and while I hope it's mostly a joke, it seems like many people take it seriously, which is quite absurd. For example, someone might say, if I bought a purse that was originally $2,000 for $1,000, I didn't spend $1,000, I saved $1,000. This mindset is completely opposite to the idea that the biggest discount is when you don't buy anything at all. So, I took the liberty of coining a new term, minimalist math, which is the opposite of this girl math. It's something people find amusing, but there's a valuable lesson in it. Every time you think about spending your hard-earned money on something that might be unnecessary or a spur-of-the-moment purchase, think about the investments you could be making instead. Consider how you could put that money to work for you. If you spend $50, that money could be invested to earn you 50 cents every month for the rest of your life. Scale that up, $100, $1,000, $10,000. Imagine earning a little more every month because of those investments. For instance, if you spend $5,000 on a phone, you're potentially giving up the chance to earn an extra $50 every month for the rest of your life. Think about the investments you could make with that money, or the opportunities you might be missing out on. Consider the cost of spending $1,000 on something when you've been wanting to start your own business, take a course, buy books but claim you don't have the money, or sign up for a gym to truly change your life. You could be using that money to achieve your goals, instead of spending it on things you don't really need or even understand why you're buying them. Opportunity cost is what you could be doing with that money instead of spending it on the item you're buying. It's interesting how people often struggle with this concept, because they tend to think of the full amount needed for something, like, oh, a full college degree costs $100,000, so why would I save $50 at a time? But they miss the point about building my business. But people often fail to see that dreams are built gradually. As I mentioned yesterday, the power of consistency is the key to life. You need to think carefully about every $10, $50, $100, or $200 you spend, depending on how much you earn each month, and consider if it's really making a difference. It's through these small, thoughtful savings that you start building your dreams and securing your future. Many people think that small amounts aren't worth the effort, but that's exactly where the change happens. The reality is, if you don't take care of your money and your time when you have little, you won't take care of them when you have a lot. And more than that, you may never reach the point of having much because you haven't developed the discipline to manage what you have. If you continue with bad spending habits, wasting money and making impulsive decisions, what happens when you receive an inheritance or win the lottery? Chances are, that money won't last long because you'll just start spending it recklessly. I often see people with this mindset: if they have a credit card limit, they feel the need to max it out; if they have money in the bank, they want to spend it all. They don't understand that just because you have money, doesn't mean you have money to spend. This is something you need to grasp fully. We'll be making several videos here on finances to help you better understand these daily habits we need to cultivate to manage our time, money, and consumption more effectively. One more thing to keep in mind: when you make impulsive purchases or buy things you don't need, those items often end up cluttering your home, unused and forgotten. You might open your closet one day and think, why did I even buy this? I don't even remember why. Then, when you add it all up, you realize you have hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars worth of stuff lying around that you didn't need to buy in the first place. To wrap things up, I want you to understand that every unnecessary purchase you make is a small piece of your dreams you're throwing away. It's time you're delaying from reaching your goals. Every misstep you take in spending is one less step toward your ideal future. So, always take the time to think carefully before making a purchase. It costs a lot more than just the money you're spending; it costs you more than you realize. I hope you enjoyed today's video and that the message resonated with you. If you're new here, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We'll talk more soon. Thanks, and take care.